Hey, what's up, everyone? So today is Tuesday, the 22nd of November. It is Thanksgiving week, as we've already highlighted yesterday. So Thursday, there's no trading. It's the second day of trading this week, but that leaves us 1.5 more days of trading this week, 3 days next week, so 4.5 days of trading left of the month. And we've had another green day, another good green day over goal as well. So a good green day over goal. Always good to be able to do that. I was hoping to get, at one stage, I was hoping to get close to what we did yesterday, which is 1.5 times goal. But it's still a good day. I'm not going to besmirch the results that we've had today. We managed to get $6,891 today. Now we traded OncoSec again, so we traded that yesterday profitably. We traded OncoSec today. That was the first thing we traded. We got $2,000 out of that. We traded it in two areas. So as soon as I was able to trade at the bottom of the hour, 7:30 market time, I took a position as it was moving up, but I caught the back end of the move or the top end of the move. So I managed to get, it was 950 out of that. A little bit later in pre-market, I traded it again and managed to get another just over $1,000 there. So it was $2,000 up on that stock. ONCS is the ticker. We then traded Best Buy. So Best Buy was moving up on good earnings. Actually moved up really well all day today. And Muggins here actually lost money with Best Buy. So we lost $1,500 in total. Well, $1,584 in total with Best Buy. So that almost wiped out the gains that we had with ONCS. In fact, it did, because we went $6,000 down on Best Buy at one stage, and then the next trade with Best Buy, we recouped that. So I just got my entries wrong, and that was at the open, looking for a gap and go with Best Buy. What we did get was a gap and go with Palisade Biopharma. Palisade moved up and we managed to get just under $6,000 with them, so $5,950 with Palisade. A classic gap and go into a halt. We scaled in, then we put a trailing stop in place just before it went into the halt, and on resumption it gapped up and came back down to stop me out. And the happy days, we were not just were we $6,000 on that particular trade, but it takes us over goal. It takes us over goal on the obviously stay green, but it takes us over goal on the day, and that's pretty much where we left it. I did try to trade Grinder again. So Grinder, we traded it on Friday. We got $50,000 out of it on Friday. We traded it. We lost a little bit yesterday. We initially lost about 4,000, but then recovered some. It did start to make a move up, and I just couldn't get filled again. So Grinder was, I managed to, I think I went for 2,500 shares, and I got 100 shares or whatever it was. So I got out of Grinder, didn't trade Grinder. After that, $125 we made on that in total. Could have been more, should have been more, but the liquidity on that stock, and it's like this broke lows now. As I'm sitting here, it's trading at $12.35. So when it went up to over $70 on Friday, so it's how the mighty have fallen. The last stock we traded was PSNY, is the ticker, and the stock was Polestar Automotive. Polestar, it moved up. Coming into the afternoon to the latter part of the day, as that moved up, we tried to get a position on that. We made $400 out of that. We caught the tail end of the move, the higher end of the move. It did pull back and it created a bit of a double top, so we didn't trade it again. It then moved off and continued to move sideways up until the close, and then it popped up again and moved about 50 cents into the close. So that was Polestar Automotive, ticker PSNY. So let's take a look, shall we? Let's take a look at the charts and how that panned out. So we started off. So this was. I'll put this on the 1 minute so we can actually see exactly what's happening here and where we traded this. So pre-market, you can see this 7:30 in the morning. It started to move up. Now I'm not able to trade. It's about 7 o'clock. It actually started to move up. 7:15. I'm not able to trade it with my broker before 7:30. So I'm seeing these big moves and nice moves moving up. And at 7:30, I was able to get in here and ride that up, and made 950 bucks with that. And got out as it started to pull back. I wanted to see make a new high for a re-entry. But it didn't. It then kind of consolidated for a little while before it then made another move up, and we traded it there. So when we traded that, it would have been right here. This move up from up to there, and then it pulled back. It did try to make it, but we didn't break these highs here. It tried to make a kind of double top thing there and pull back on the bounced on the VWAP. But this is where we got in, and I'll show this trade. I've recorded this trade, so this is the first trade that I recorded today. So I'll pop that on. It's a very quick trade, and you can watch that. Bit of a quick scalp, if nothing else, and we traded that one. Then we traded, as I mentioned, Best Buy. So Best Buy was moving up all day today, and if I just zoom out, you can see this a little bit easier. Good earnings. Earnings dropped, and about 7 a.m. market time, and then it moved up. It started to consolidate, and we got in this at the bell here. So it moved down, then up, then down. We got in here, and at first we actually lost money on this sell-off here. So we got in for the break of new highs, and then on the next one we traded was on this move up here, and we got out at the top. So we didn't manage to get all of our losses, but we managed to get a large portion of those losses back. So that was Best Buy. We didn't trade that again at all today. So that was the one and only trade that we lost, or that we lost on. Then we got into Palisades. So PALI was the big mover on the day. It moved up in total. It was about 140, 150% from. It was a lot more than that. It was close to 200% if I'm not mistaken, from yesterday's close. And it moved up, and we got in here, and we were able to ride this up into a halt, and then all the way up, and then we got out as it topped out, and we got out, and it never kind of reached those highs again. It did pull back, and it did make another move up later in the day, but it didn't. Just zoom out here so you can actually see this. It made another move up later in the day, but again didn't quite reach the heights that it had up here. It's kind of 650. It went up to as high as kind of 540, 550, but nothing like the heights. So I looked at it a couple of times. I thought about trading it a couple of times on these moves up, but just never got into it. We did trade Grinder, as I mentioned. Grinder was this move. It moved up into a halt, and that's when quick move up into a halt here. That's when I looked for it. We waited for it to resume. It gapped up. I waited for the move up. I waited for the pullback. We got the pullback, the new high, so we got in there. It pulled all the way back, and then when it moved back up again is when we got out. Small profit. The spread stopped us getting a lot more profit. It is one of those stocks that it was difficult to get filled at the right levels. It was difficult to be profitable because of the spreads. So yeah, I just didn't feel that for the rest of the day, and then it sold off. But it sold off so hard. Look at this, and where it ended up going. Just did nothing but sell for the rest of the day, all the way down to $12. So if I look at where we traded it up here at kind of $24, $25, it's halved its value, 50% off in the remainder of the day. The last thing that we traded was Polestar Automotive. Now this was moving up, and we took a position with Polestar not long after lunch. As this moved up here, and we got in here for the pullback and then the move up, and we managed to get $400 on that one, and not a bad trade. It wasn't the best trade, as I say, because we got it really up at the top here. So as we got this pullback, we got in pretty much at the top, and then it pulled back. So it did make another move back up later, so as you can say, it may move up a little later into the close. We didn't trade it, and then it sold off hard. So that's essentially what we did. Now I've got the ONCS trade and the Palisade trade recorded. I'll tag those on the back of this video so you can check those out. But let's just look at where that puts us on the month. So in terms of statistics, the months is actually a good month so far. Because of Friday, $50,000 on Friday would be $55,000 right now with 4.5 days to trade. So we wouldn't be too far off the number. We would have still had a chance to hit the goal, but we've hit it already. We're over goal on the month. So yippee, wahoo, all of those kind of celebratory things. I'll have a glass of wine. I'll push the boat out. I'm going to have a glass of gin and tonic because we've got over goal today, monthly goal that is. We're over goal on the day. We're having a good week so far after 2 days. It's a short week, but after 2 days, we're nearly 7,000 today, 7,500 yesterday. So we're kicking down the door of $15,000 after 2 days. If we have another day like that tomorrow, it means we potentially could have done a week's trading in just 3 days. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be very cautious. I've been quite patient and cautious with my trading this week, and it's paid off for me. So that's what I'm going to do. Continue to do. I don't need to rush things or take big swings because we're over goal. We can just wait for the right setups. So where are we? We're $105,000. The average daily gain in November is 6,574. Our largest trade, as I say, was the grinder trade last Friday. 49,000. We have had a big loss as well, 19,000. We're on track for the month. When I say the trade accuracy in terms of trade selection, this really helps me out. 67% of my trades are winning trades. So if I look at just breaking out the scratch trades and just looking at the win versus loss ratio, it actually 68%, but my selection is actually 67% because of the scratch trades. If I look at the risk versus reward, it's 221 now versus 116, so it's as good as a 2-to-1 ratio there. The K ratio, because of some of the big swings, is a lot lower. The K ratio is risk versus reward, and it's based on the equity curve. Which here you can see my equity curve not huge. This drawdown here, and then this drawdown here, and here. It basically, if you take the equity curve, it's the gradient of the equity curve from this point to this point, and with the deviance of the drawdown. So that's why my K ratio is lower this time around in comparison to the year. So. Yeah, we're having a good month. Where does that put us on the year? Because ultimately, it is the year that's important. We're eating into December's target right now. So 1.1 million is the goal for the end of November. So we're nearly $29,000 up on December's target before we get in there. We've still got, I'd say, 4.5 days of trading left. So the more damage we can do to that target, the better. It gives me the chance to take a week or two off at the end of the year, and that's really what I want to do. I want to be taking Christmas week off and not trading between Christmas and New Year. I want to take the first week of January off if I can. That's when my birthday is. So I did have 10 days off, or 2 weeks off in September. But I just want to, when you're trading for yourself, what's the point in being a day trader if you can't utilize some of the free time that it gives you? I've set myself an ambitious goal this year, and I'm adamant that I want to achieve it. What that will do is it will enable me to be a little bit more relaxed next year. I can set a similar goal next year by all means, but what I probably will do next year is start off with a small account in January and just see how big I can grow it. And I'll speak to you guys on one of my live streams to see what that small account size should be. But we'll do that in December. Once I've got this target out of the way, then we'll set the new target for 2023. Okay, guys. So yeah, that's essentially where we are on the. That's essentially where we are in the year, where we are in the month. We're in a very good place. I'm happy with things the way they panned out. Wasn't happy with my trading up until last week. We had that big drawdown on Wednesday. I think that flicked a switch in my brain because we had a good trading day on Thursday. We had one of my best trading days of the year on Friday because of Grinder, and this week we've traded well so far. Now that could all change. I could have an absolutely massive drawdown tomorrow, and I've had days like that. But I'm being cautious, so it's unlikely that will take place. So come join me tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens. We do it all again. We trade the last 90 minutes of the pre-market, hence the 90 minutes before the market opens. So that's 8 a.m. New York or East Coast. It's 1 p.m. in Ireland, where I'm based, or in the UK. If you're in a different time zone, then you can work that out for yourself. And we also trade the first hour of the open session. So the after the bell for the first hour, so from 9:30 to 10:30 market time. We'll be trading live from 90 minutes before the market opens for 2.5 hours. Come join me, get involved, have a chat, and I'll see you there. In the meantime, enjoy the trade replays of ONCS and PALI. So I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Across the board. Just scalping. Very good, nice scalp. Happy days, another grand there, another 1,000. Let me have a quick look at PALI. Needs to decide, does it go up or does it needs to hold $4. There we go, 10,000 shares into a halt. Nice one, Tony. That's today's target done. 510 resumption. Maybe a little bit more, based on the level 2. There we go. Let's continue moving up. I've got my stop in place. There we go, stopped out. There you go. That's me done for the day, kids.